Hello everybody, welcome back. Frank here again with Simulation for the Nation, and just thought I'd show you this little digger that's arrived about an hour ago. This is not mine, this belongs to a local contractor really. And they're coming back in tomorrow. We're going to be putting a water line into the water trough over there. So they're going to come in, we're just waiting for the actual piping to arrive. So they're going to come in tomorrow and finish this up. So there'll be there's actually a water connection like under the digger pretty much where they're going to connect onto. And the water line's going to come all the way through here. Pretty much in a straight line all the way up to the water trough here. And it's just going to allow for us to have an automated fill-in of the water trough, so I don't have to worry about that. Which is going to be fantastic news. So that's going to happen tomorrow. I just thought I'd really kind of show you what's up with it, really. Explain why there's suddenly a digger parked here. But yeah, been meaning to get this done for a while, so it's just nice that the guys have been able to free up a bit of time and come in. Also, while it's quite dry, so that's quite good. But for now, I'm gonna go and have some dinner, and then we'll come back and we'll just have a bit of an update tomorrow when it's all in and complete. So we'll see you then. Well, hello, welcome back again, everybody. We are just feeding the cattle for this evening. The plumbers, as I like to call them, have been and gone. Everything is in place. This is a heavy bale of silage here. So we're just going to pop some silage into the diet feeder, and then we're just going to run that through for the cattle this evening. And then we'll have a quick look at the new kind of water system, I guess, we've got in place. And it's looking quite good, actually. Very impressed with that. And whilst it's been nice and dry again all day as well, so what I think I might try and do is just run a quick load of slurry out onto some fields, just to get it just to empty the reservoir a little bit, the lagoon, but also if it's dry we might as well take advantage of it. Lord knows when we'll next be able to do it. Oops. That should do it for now. Okay, so I just need to turn this around. We're going to reverse into the cattle shed here. Didn't take the guys too long to put in as it goes. They were in and out pretty quickly today, which is nice to see. No hassle, no complications. They had everything they needed, and it now means that we've got a tap at the far end of the shed that we can turn on, and that fills up the water trough, and then that's all we need to think about. Particularly when it starts to get a bit wetter again, when we can't really travel over the fields with the old with this tractor in the water bowser. It's not exactly ideal. Let's just say that. Get a bit straighter onto this. Go. It's an old feeder, but it still does its job. I've never had any problems with it. Just have to make sure we keep it nicely greased up. But it gives the cattle what they need. And that'll keep them going over the course of the evening and into tomorrow morning before we get to feed them again. Lovely stuff. So yeah, if we just squeeze past the feeder here, in through the trough a little bit. Oh, let's go that way. I'm just going to grab a bag full of feed as well, actually. Some extra mineral for them all. There we go. Alright, so let's just go and have a look, see what we've got done. I don't think they've taken the digger away yet. I think that's still, yeah, that's still here. So, we actually brought the water line back a little bit, and we've put a tap on here now. So the main is under here, and this is where we can just alter the tap to fill up the water trough, and the pipe runs along the edge of the shed here. Through the gate. And pretty much in a beeline following the edge of this grass up to the trough here, where as you can see we've now got 2 water pipes on the trough, and it keeps it nice and fresh and full, so we never need to worry about coming back out onto the ground here and disturbing the livestock at all. We can just do it all from the shed, which is great news. So very happy to have that done. And here is the slurry pit. Now there's quite a bit of slurry in the lagoon already, so I'm probably just going to get the fire up the voucher, I think, and we'll come out and we'll just take a few loads out there just to get onto the fields really whilst we can. That's the best idea. Move this John Deere out of the way first. Okay. Lovely stuff. Voucher's looking pretty sitting here in the sunshine, so we might as well get it used. Okay. Typically we're going to be putting slurry onto all of our grassland, particularly the silage land. Trick is though managing that we have a certain window in which we're allowed to do it by law, which is then compounded even more by the fact that there are days when you just can't get onto the grass because it's so darn wet. Today, however, is a good day. It looks like we're going to have good conditions in which to work with, and a nice slurry tanker with which to do it. We'll just creep on through the yard here. In terms of where we're going to go, so many fields we can hit. We might go up to field 29 actually, which is just on the same side of the farm really. And it's also going to mean that we're pointing in the right way, which makes life a little bit easier. Excuse me, cow. Get out of my way. So, we have a little over 18,000 litres of slurry in here, which is not a lot. But this tank, that'll be a couple of tank loads, so we can at least get one field covered. And like I say, the main thing is that we need to get out here and we need to get out here while it's dry, and we'll do this today. So we're going to let this fill up. It's going to take a few minutes there, and we'll come back to you when it's done, and we'll go and get some slurry spread. Well, we're just creeping through into our little paddock here on the back of the yards. This one's not particularly big, but it will be made into, it will be cut for silage. So it does need to get covered sooner rather than later. So it won't take us too long, like I say there, but it's good to get this slurry out in the ground while it's nice and dry. We've got a nice reach on this tanky here. I think we're in the region of around about 6 or 8 meters, so it's plenty big enough for what we need. We do produce quite a bit of slurry as well. If it ever gets to a stage where it gets too much, what we would tend to do is keep this. We'll bring in another tanker, like a nurse tanker really, and just keep this one working in the field. It's typically the best way to go about it. But so far, we're not at that point where we can survive as we are. But yeah, there's a glorious day. As you can see, the grass is starting to get a bit of growth to it, which is good news. We should be able to, maybe if it keeps on like this in a couple of weeks' time, we should be able to get in here and start doing some proper work with the silage. We've got a lot to do, that being said, but we'll just keep an eye on it. signs yet of the spring drilling coming through. That should start to emerge probably in the next... I don't know, hopefully I'd like to see it come through in the next next week or so would be good, all being well. It's had some good conditions so far. Like I say, there's been little rain in the last, probably not in the last kind of 3 or 4 days, but plenty of sunshine, so it's had some good growing conditions, which is always very pleasing and reassuring. It gives the seed, when it's germinating inside in the ground there, that extra kick really. How are we doing? Oh, good. So once we finish spreading this, we will be... we're going to put the plough in the back of the voucher today. We're going to do a little bit of ploughing. We need to bring a contractor in to drill some maize for me. So we're going to plough over the land actually. We're going to go down to field 31, so not too far away. Get that ploughed over, and then the contractor can come in and drill the maize, and we should have a nice little maize crop there. We're going to do a couple of fields for whole cropping, so that is one of them that's going to get a good dose. And then once that's done, then it means hopefully by the kind of early autumn we'll be able to harvest a good crop of maize. And we'll have 2 pits on the go. One will be pure grass, and the other one will have maize in. So it gives us a little bit different dietary requirements or approaches really. The reason I like maize is it does have a lot of nice slow release energy for the livestock. It has a lot of proteins in there with the grains and the chaff, so with the kernels as well. So it's a really good a good balanced diet really for the cattle here. And we need to look after their diet after all. And I am empty. Okie dokie. So what we'll do here, we'll just go and we'll take this back down to the yard. I think we'll pop another load into here. That's okay, we'll throw another load of slurry into here. We'll come out and finish this field, and then yeah, we'll empty the tank somewhere before we go and hitch the plough on. So we'll go and do that, and we'll come back to you when we're all buttoned up, ready to go. Out the way, lady. Well, as the sun sets on another lovely spring day, we have emptied the slurry tank again. So at this stage, I think we'll just wrap it up. It's got some good progress there, so I'm very happy with that. I think what we'll do, if it's nice and dry tomorrow, whilst I do need to get that ploughing started, I might take a few loads of muck out of the cattle shed as well, because it's getting a little bit full there. And again, if it's dry and the roads are passable, then we'll jump on and do that. I think that makes a lot more sense. So for now, though, however, we will just back this into the shed, finish with the slurry tanker for now. Perfect. So jump out. Now we will take. Yeah, we'll take this. The plough isn't over here. It's actually down at the sheep yard. So we'll take the tractor on down there. We'll get the plough hooked on, and then we're kind of ready to go for tomorrow. But for that to work properly, I need to put this front weight on as well. I don't do a great deal of tractor work here. I'm mainly focused on arable, but it is nice just to be able to jump into a tractor in that every now and again. I can't see where that weight is. Have I gone too far forward? Yes. Okay, so we'll head on down to the sheep yard. This shouldn't take us too long. Go for a little road trip, pick up the plough, and then we'll get ourselves back here. It's nearly too cold to keep the window open though. Oh, shit. We haven't got any sheep yet. A lot of people have asked me about that. I'm not sure if we will. At the moment there, we're still too busy focusing on the dairy operation. It would be nice at one point maybe to have a handful, but it's not something that we're looking to get a significant number of by any stretch of the imagination. So yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. And off we trot. So hello and welcome again to everybody. I hope you're doing very well. Do let me know what you're getting up to, particularly if you're on Meadow Grow Farm as well. Do let me know. A lot of people who I know who have jumped on here are nowhere near the north end really, like me. They're all down on the main arable yard, so do let me know what you're doing. And particularly if you've got a dairy operation on the go. I always like to hear what's going on there. All these hedges, I can't see a blooming thing. No. Back. One thing you notice is the cars never slow down for you. Lovely views out tonight, lovely light as well. Given this the clocks just went forward last week, so it's what is it now, just about 6:30 and still nice and light outside, which is great news. Okay, now where did I last keep my plough? I think it's around the silage pit actually. There we are. Again, it's not a very big plough. We don't really need a bigger plough than 4 furrows, to be honest. For the amount of work I do, it's pretty much perfect. As you can see, it's still looking nice and shiny. We did just replace the metal work on the plough, so it is looking all nice and new. It gets looked after very well, so it's a good little machine for us. It up. And yeah, we'll just have this back at the yard for now, so that tomorrow morning, once we get the muck out into the field, we can leave this just or jump straight into this and get going with the rest of the day. Well, somewhat typically, and probably not surprisingly at all, we devised a plan last night to lead some muck out whilst it was still nice and dry, and then go and start some ploughing for the maize. And then parked up the vehicle last night and it rained all night. So I might have put a temporary little block onto our proceedings today. However, what we're going to do is try and cart a little bit of muck. We might not get it done now, we can get ourselves set up for it at least. But we just need to unhook the feeder. But yeah, that was just a bit typical really. Not to worry, we'll just go and jump the International onto the Bailey trailer. And like I say, we might not actually do any carting today, we'll just get it all kind of set up and ready to go, I think. And then, yeah, we'll go and have a coffee, see how we look, and then we'll tackle it later on. There's a good couple of trailer loads in there, so they do want to be cleaned out. We should probably look at getting some fertilizer spread sooner rather than later as well. Okay, so we've got the tractor in place there, nice shiny trailer on the back, so we're going to just take a couple of loads of this muck out to the field here. To my cab. So it shouldn't take us too long. do have to have the weight on the back of the tractor just to give me a fighting chance of actually being able to lift this. It's a little bit narrow here. Anything too much bigger and we probably wouldn't be able to get in at all and do this. So we do have to be nice and gentle with it, slow and steady and all of that. Perfect. I always miss a little bit. Always needs to bring out the shovel later on. Tidy it all back up properly. Good. So it shouldn't be too much longer until we can just keep the cattle going outside actually, so we won't need to look at putting any more straw down. They might come in occasionally if it's wet, for example, but more often than not they'll just be happy to stay outside where the grass is fresh and they can just roam around a little bit. They go a bit stir crazy if you keep them inside for too long. So we might just take this load and then take the weight. It's probably about half of it, so I want to try and keep 2 even loads to go out the field into the field with, rather than having one overly imbalanced load. Because like I said, it did rain a lot last night, and the last thing we want to do is actually put too much weight on the ground. Lovely stuff. See how we're looking here first off. Yeah, that's good enough. So, where are we going to take it? That's the next big question. Let's actually just go onto our proper map here and have a look. I'm figuring we actually might just drop it straight down to field 31 and we'll get it spread and ploughed in before we put the maize down there, I think. That might be a good plan. It's a better plan if I shut my door. Nice to get the old girl pairing with a bit of weight behind her. So this field's not particularly big. This one's probably in the region of about 8 acres. So we're going to actually put this and another field into maize. But we'll only spread muck onto this one, I think. We don't have enough at the moment. But yeah, this one's good because it's of its proximity to us at the farm, really. We'll just take a load on the corner here. It's nice. We have no neighbours around here who will complain if I start to tip muck, so it's just me and the wife, really, so she knows what to expect. Excellent stuff. So we're going to get back to load number 2, and we're going to just keep doing this. Well, we've only got one more load left to go, really. We'll get that one put out, and then we'll have to see about getting someone in to come and help spread this. But yeah, we'll let you know how that goes in a different episode, I think. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I have been Frank, your very humble host. I do truly appreciate you all stopping by to check out the channel. If you are new, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and keep yourself in tune with what's going on over the coming few weeks and months. If you have enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like button, and if you haven't, hit that dislike button. I won't be too offended, don't worry, and we will see you in the next one here on Meadow Grove. So until then, thank you very much for watching. Do stay safe, enjoy what you're doing, and happy farming.